Don't worry about the pay, get the bennies. Now that's something we began hearing more and more just a couple of generations ago. And today employee benefits can be as desirable, and maybe even more so in some cases, than the actual paycheck. In this unit, we'll take up employee benefits as part of the employee's compensation plan. From a human resources standpoint, benefits are an extremely important means of attracting and holding on to the best employees. Don't forget, though, that benefits can be worth a third or even more of the total value of an employee's compensation. Now, this isn't to say that employers are being totally altruistic in all cases in providing benefits. Now, some benefits are required by law. There's Social Security, which includes aspects of old age, survivors, disability, and health insurance benefits. Social Security is a payroll tax shared by the employer and the employee. Employers also pay federal and state taxes for unemployment insurance. Now, this is based on an employer experience rating and a percentage of employees a company has laid off. As a sidelight, there's an attitude that an employee collecting unemployment insurance is akin to taking welfare. It's an insurance policy. Would you always, in every case, refuse to make a claim on your car insurance if you got into an accident? Or on your health insurance if you wound up in the hospital or contracted a serious disease or illness? Now, I did throw in the always in there because there are cases where you really are better off not making a claim. But that's a different subject. In addition, a state's unemployment insurance program also makes provisions to help unemployed workers find new jobs. Employers also pay for workers' compensation insurance. Now, this is money made available to help pay for an employee's job-related accidents or illnesses. Workers' comp has what's known as a no-fault principle. Employees don't have to prove their employers were grossly negligent, and employers are largely protected from lawsuits, except in those cases of intentionally contributing to an unsafe workplace. Roughly 90% of all U.S. workers are covered under workers' comp laws. Another mandated program is the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act. Provisions are made for care of a baby following birth or adoption. Now, there can also be up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave to enable an employee to take care of a sick family member. Human resources departments must also prepare for another legally required benefit. That's the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. This act was passed by Congress in 2010 and is gradually taking effect through 2014. Now, this is still somewhat fluid and may even face some legal challenges. Now, that means human resources will have to be especially diligent in keeping up with the progress and the changes in the enactment of the features of the law. Basically, employers and insurance companies must prepare for future requirements to provide all employees with health insurance. Human resources members in organizations will have to educate themselves for insurance exchanges, small business tax rebates, and expanded coverage. Paid leave is another employee benefit. Now, this is typically paid time off for vacations, holidays, and sick leave. Here in the United States, employees tend to get less vacation time than workers in Europe. The U.S. average is 10 vacation days a year, where Europeans can get more than 30 and maybe even more than 40 days a year in some cases. Now, there are heated arguments that America should move closer to the European example for health and well-being reasons. On the other side of the argument, though, is that too much vacation time is the reason why Europe is so unproductive and why some economies there are in such dire condition. In America, there are 10 typical paid holidays, including Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, President's Day, Martin Luther King Day, and often Columbus Day. In some cases, the days off are observed on the nearest Monday. There are even some companies that will take some of the minor holidays and actually sandwich them between Christmas and New Year's, creating a week off for everybody in the company. Sick leave is another form of paid time off and is often based on an employee's length of service. Some companies allow employees to roll over their sick leave from one year to the next, often with a maximum limit. Other firms have policies which require that sick days expire at the end of the year. In addition, there are cases where companies will pay for personal days or floating holidays. Now, some people like to take their birthdays off, for instance, as a floating holiday. Perhaps the benefit that comes to the top of most employee minds, though, is that of insurance benefits. Now, this can include medical for hospital, surgical, and doctor visits, dental, vision, birthing centers, and prescription drug programs. Medical benefits can also be carried over if an employee leaves the organization. The Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, known as COBRA, extends the right for a departed employee to continue to receive the organization's coverage at the group rate for up to 3 years. Managing costs, however, has become an extremely important issue for human resources departments. Some companies may choose managed care health maintenance organization preferred provider organization programs, where employees can set aside part of their pre-tax earnings to pay for expenses. Now, this does offer a bit of a break on paying income tax. There's a growing feeling that keeping employees healthy is a key to holding down medical expenses. Many companies are now starting to offer healthy behavior wellness programs. Another benefit is group life insurance. Typically, an employee is covered at twice his or her yearly pay. There's also short-term and long-term disability insurance and even long-term care coverage as part of some organizational benefit plans. Retirement planning is another key workplace benefit. Typically, both the employer and the employee pay into a fund. This is called a contributory plan, where the employee amount will be matched up to a set level by the employer. There's also what is known as the non-contributory plan, where only the employer pays in. A 401k plan involves the employer setting up an individual account for the employee and will guarantee the size of the investment to be paid at retirement. Firms often have internal programs to help employees with financial planning, in particular, how to invest within their company portfolios to their individual best advantage. The list of benefits can go on. Others that are not necessarily mandated but yet are offered can include paid family leave, child care, college savings, elder care support, subsidized cafeterias, on-site health clinics, reimbursement for moving expenses, discounts in company stores, tuition reimbursement, recreational services, and employee outings. There are numerous considerations in choosing just what an employee benefits package will offer. The organization, of course, wants to make sure that benefits support the organization's objectives. Consideration is taken regarding employee expectations and values. Cafeteria-style programs give employees control over their benefits, and of course the overriding consideration for the organization is the cost of the benefits. There are rules affecting how the employer designs and administers a benefits package. The employer must provide the benefits required by law, and employees may not be classified as independent contractors in order for a company to avoid paying benefits. There are also requirements for meeting the standards of a qualified plan. Now, the plan may not discriminate in favor of highly compensated employees. Gender may not be used as a basis for discriminating against anyone. The plan may not discriminate against those over 40. Early retirements have to comply with the Older Workers Benefit Protection Act. The plan must comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Company financial statements must also comply with Financial Accounting Standards Board regulations. A key responsibility of human resources is to provide effective communication of the benefits to the employees. Employees have to realize the value of their benefits. Now, ways of doing this include brochures, meetings, intranets, memos, email, and of course a combination of all of the above offers the best guarantee of making sure employees do understand their benefits and just how much they mean. With this, we've completed our section on employee compensation. From here, we move on to meeting other human resource goals. We'll be getting into collective bargaining and labor relations, along with managing human resources globally, as well as creating and maintaining high-performance organizations.